I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Charlie McGee is an ordinary child, normal in every way.
Charlie, now watch what you're doing.
But one, she can set things on fire with just a glance.
Daddy, I'm scared.
But there are those who will do everything to control her and maybe destroy her. Charlie McGee is Stephen King's Firestarter. Will she have the power to survive? Rated R.
Starts Friday at select theaters. Check newspapers for locations.
Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another review, and there's another Patreon request, this time for Vante, and it's for Firestarter from 1984. Now, first off, anyone interested in requesting any review, re-review, reaction, topic, whatever type of video, you can request it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, Firestarter is a film I've never loved because I think the middle portion is very, very fucking boring. And the acting, I mean, it's got a good cast. I mean, you got Drew Barrymore as the lead. You got David Keith, who I don't mind. Heather Locklear, Freddie Jones, who I remember from Kroll. You got Martin Sheen, George C. Scott, Art Carney, Louise Fletcher. Art Carney from the old TV show The Honeymooners, Louise Fletcher from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You got music by Tangerine Dream. It's directed by Mark L. Lester, who would go on to direct Commando and Showdown Little Tokyo and did Class of 1984. So you have a group of people that are very talented, but for the most part the film is kind of blasé and kind of meh. I mean, I don't mind the beginning of the film, where David Keith, Drew Barrymore, they're all on the run. They meet Antonio Vargas, Huddy Bear from Starsky and Hutch, and you know David Keith has his power to manipulate people because he gives them $1 and makes them think it's a $500 bill, which I didn't even know that. But I mean, it's him getting manipulated in it. And then you get flashbacks to David Keith met Heather Locklear during this drug testing thing. They fell in love. The drug test, altered their body, so Heather Locklear could read minds. David Keith could manipulate people with his mind. They had a kid, Drew Barrymore, who she could start stuff on fire. I guess before I go on, I should mention this is based on a Stephen King novel, which I know Stephen King wasn't happy with the film. He didn't like, for example, Stephen King, anytime Drew Barrymore would light something on fire, they would make it so that her hair would float, like a precursor to her doing something with her power. Stephen King hated that. I was fine with it because it's all bullshit anyway. You could come up with a bullshit answer. It's the surge of energy from a body that even causes physical fluctuations. It's fuck it. To me, I understood because it's a film and it was meant for artistic expression of something's about to happen. It didn't bother me as much as Stephen King. I know he really did not like David Teeth, which I thought David Teeth did fine. I wouldn't say the acting in this film is stellar. Like, Drew Barrymore at times has off moments, but at the same time, she's better than a lot of kid actors. So even her off moments are not as bad as other child actors. Pretty much they're being... In another flashback, you find out Heather Locklear's been killed. They tried to abduct Drew Barrymore. David Teeth stopped them by making them think they're blind. And then they've been on the run ever since. And these bad guys called the Shop, where you have Martin Sheen and George C. Scott. Martin Sheen seems like he's just playing the same role that he did in The Dead Zone. George C. Scott, I guess he's supposed to be a Native American, because his last name is Rainbird. And I think he was Native American in the novel. Who the fuck buys George C. Scott as a Native American? But, I mean, I like George C. Scott as an actor, but it's like, okay. Art Carney and Louise Fletcher play this nice old couple that take Drew Barrymore and David Teeth in to have dinner. Bad guys come to try to get him. Drew Barrymore burns some people, fucks some cars up, them get the fuck out. Then George C. Scott later on gets a tranquilizer dart, knocks them both out. And then the middle portion was just Drew Barrymore going through these tests, burns this, burns that. George C. Scott trying his best to befriend her because he has this weird, crazy thing where he wants to become friends with her. And then when she's the happiest, he wants to kill her. When he's allowed to, I guess. Just something about killing her in that way will give him this power. So I'm totally with Martin Sheen when he just looks at him and goes, "You're crazy." Should have said, "You're fucking crazy," but you're crazy. Maybe that works better in the novel, but I don't know. Just in the movie, the whole George C. Scott, maybe it's not even just George C. Scott. That whole middle portion to be really hurt and killed the film for me. Now, the reason this isn't a rant is because it is a pretty good cast, and the ending is fun. I will say the ending is a lot of fun. But that middle portion where it's David Teeth pretending that he's taking these pills so his power's dwindling, George C. Scott trying to befriend Drew Barrymore again and again, Drew Barrymore going through test after test. Just none of it was interesting. None of it was exciting or thrilling or intriguing or pull me in or maybe learn more about the story. It just was kind of in the standstill until the finale where Mark L. Lester pulled his biggest strength, which is action. Pulled that out of his card, out of his coat. Tis the finale when you get practical fireball shooting out and like 10 minutes just her fucking everybody up. That's the best part of this movie. Because she shoots what looks like actual fireballs and blows up this cart that this guy was driving, makes trails of fire that follows people and burns them up, shoots fireballs at this guy and the burnt body flies up into a tree, shoots at this fucking helicopter, that blows up, shoots at this building, pieces of the building blown up, all practical, a whole lot of fucking fireballs. The fucking title for this should be Great Balls of Fire. Or Great Balls of Fire 2, Electric Boogaloo. I mean, fuck's sake. But it was fun. I liked the look of the practical fireballs. I thought that looked rather cool. Just nowadays it'd just be CGI. And you have a lot of real stuntmen on fire. I give credit to that because that's not an easy thing to do. Okay, set yourself on fire. I don't know if I'd have the courage to do that, but these stunt people did, and when people get hit with the explosion, you see their body fly up. I did in this one, I thought, oh shit. When he gets hit by the fireball, then you see the body ricochet off and hit the fucking tree while it's on fire. That was a fun fucking ending. The Store by Tangerine Dream. I mean, it's always nice to have Tangerine Dream as doing the score for your film. Drew Barrymore, even though she has some off moments, I still like Drew Barrymore as an actress. I thought she's one of the more talented child actors, whether it be in this or Cat's Eye, which I quite enjoy. Cat's Eye, I would say I enjoy more than this. I guess before I go on further, one thing to mention is John Carpenter was going to do this film originally because the thing bombed so badly. John Carpenter got fired. When the thing was coming out, John Carpenter and his buddy were in pre-production on Firestarter. They said, well, yeah, you're kind of gone now. Goodbye. And it's like, fuck. And so Martell Lester, I don't know if he was the right director for this. Because, okay, I mentioned the finale, but was that Martell Lester, or should I give more credit to the production team who set that up? Who set up and made the fireballs and the stuntmen and the fire? So should I give more credit to Martell Lester, or should I give more credit to the production team? Because I do think John Carpenter would have brought a bit more atmosphere, because that's what this film has none of. It has no atmosphere. It has no dread, has no creep factor. It's listed as horror. I don't even know if you can call this a horror movie in any slight, because none of it feels horror. I mean, maybe the most horrific moment is when George C. Scott kills someone by shooting it out his forearm, his arm, hitting someone here. Thus, the bone goes into the brain. That's probably the most horrific part of the movie. I mean, people on fire technically is horrific, but that feels more like an action scenes than horror. I don't know if that makes sense. And so, I didn't watch this again. I can't say I hate the film. I don't hate the film. It just, the beginning, the setup is not too bad. David Keith, he's not the strongest actor, but I could deal with him. I don't think he was as bad as Stephen King made it out to be. Martin Sheen, I liked him as an actor. Again, it seemed like he was just playing the same role of Stilson from The Dead Zone. That middle portion, it was just so boring to me. It was so mundane that I do think that hurt the picture quite a bit. And as to how to make it better, I don't know. I don't know if it's just, it needed to be shortened, or I really don't know. I think maybe with John Carpenter, maybe could have added some mood or some atmosphere or some kind of thing where something's coming and the anticipation of when things are going to turn. But that finale was a lot of fun. People are shooting bullets. When George C. Scott dies, he's shooting a bullet and she makes the bullet explode and then shoots him all across the bar and he burns to death. Like I said, the finale is a lot of fun. The finale is entertaining with how much practical fire and stuntmen and the practical fireballs, buildings exploding. You just see why someone will look at that and go, maybe with Arnold Schwarzenegger he could do this. Maybe Arnold saw this film, he saw the ending and went, look at that bullshit, or leave it. That's really cool. Let me get him for my movie, Commando. Arnold doesn't sound like that. I don't know what the fuck. So, and I don't know, this is a stupid random thing, but anytime I think of this movie, I think of the title, I always think of the song, he's a Firestarter, Firestarter. I don't know why. Part of me was split second thought that piece of music was going to, I don't even remember what fucking song that is. I just remember a piece of the song is like, he's a Firestarter. I'll go all over the place with this fucking review, because, like I said, watching the film again, I don't think it's that badly directed of a movie by Mark L. Lester. And the cast is, I repeat, it's really fucking good when you got George C. Scott and Art Carney and Louise Fletcher and Drew. I don't know who. If you don't pick a little girl, that's a good one to pick. But just something about... I say Mark L. Lester, his direction, I don't say anything bad, but there's nothing... Until the ending, there's nothing that also made it stand out direction-wise. And that's the thing with John Carpenter. A lot of his movies, whether Dean Cundy or someone else, to utilize the widescreen format or the way he structured the shots and the lighting and the mood. And you watch Escape from New York. You watch The Thing. You watch The Fog. You know, those films... And then, obviously, it probably would have been John Carpenter's score, not Tangerine Dream. I think he could have maybe utilized the potential horror of the story a bit more so. You look at when he did Christine, Stephen King's Christine later on, how that's directed and how, you know, the shots looked and with the music, everything mixed in, how with that film you got a bit more of that mood vibe as see this person being turned and consumed by whatever's affecting this car, Christine car. That was missing out of this. It's interesting, one of Stephen King's critique when the film came out is he thought the film was flavorless. It took me a second to... I went, that is... I don't agree with Stephen King a lot, because I like a lot of the movies that he hates that's based on his stuff. But flavorless, that's a apt way to describe the film, is that it's manageable. I would say overall it's fine, but it was nothing that until the ending, which was fun. Up until then it was just, you watch, you don't know, okay, like, and then that middle portion, oh god, can we move along? When you get to that portion, it makes you want to hit the fast forward button. That's when I'm like, okay, there's something up with this. Maybe because I don't buy George C. Scott. Like, George C. Scott's a good actor, but even when he's trying to befriend a girl, he still seems like a villain. And he's doing the best that he can. That's not George C. Scott's fault. I don't think he was the right... Because he's such a commanding presence. He works as a good guy, a cop in Exorcist 3, or in The Changeling. He works in that. But then you get scenes where... I don't even know how to word it. The whole George C. Scott trying to befriend Drew Barrymore, it's like... It just wasn't interesting to me. I don't know how to put in the words. I'm sure a smarter person can do that. I think that portion really does affect it. When they get caught, and... Even before that, it wasn't amazing or anything, but it was like, okay, I get where you're going with story-wise. Yeah, this movie's a bit harder to review than I thought, because I don't hate the film, I don't love the film. Overall, I would say it's a time waster. It does have a great finale, so at least it does lead up to something. And at the very least, I would say at least watch the finale of this and get a lot of fun with the practical nature of the action. It's like, oh, okay, I can see why this guy got Commando. This Commando came out after this, 85, because this was 84. But on the flip side, there's just too much of this film is boring in the middle that this would not be my top 10 Stephen King adaptations. But don't take it from me. I'm the guy that loves Graveyard Shift. I'm the guy that fucking has a lot of fun, sincerely, with Maximum Overdrive. I fucking love The Running Man. So, but I like Cat's Eye. I like Cujo. I like The Shining, which Stephen King hates. I'm sorry, it's better than your fucking boring miniseries, Stephen King. Sorry. So, with that said, Firestarter is what it is. Don't hate it. Don't love it. Fun finale. There you go. So, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.